Welcome back to Geekshow Arcade. Oh yeah.
Hi.
Hoy hoy.
Hi. You've been watching. You've been watching Mr. and
I've
Mrs.
been watching
Smith.
Yeah, that's good.
That's a good
It's
show.
fun.
Really enjoyed that one. All right, this is the Geek Show Arcade where we talk about video games and video game related things. Oh, you know what? I need to put it on the notes a review of the first episode of Halo Season 2, Episode 1.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we'll add that real quick. In the meantime, let's introduce our panelists, starting with Jaren.
Oh, you caught me in a yawn. I'm Jaren.
Wasn't
Hi.
even on purpose that time either.
That's it.
All right, that's Jaren. Let's jump over to Owen.
Hey, everybody. It's me, Owen. Follow me on Twitter if you want. Morty.
If you want.
Technoan.
That-
Sorry.
If you want.
That's your
Morty84.
Xbox.
Morty84 is my Xbox. You want to go on there and
What's
send
that?
me hateful messages about how bad I suck.
Mistake.
So,
Oh, I do that anyway.
yeah. Okay.
Hey, we got Lando.
Hey, it's Lando, the coolest guy in the podcast by far.
Wait a
You can
minute.
find me here and on the other show we do, the Help
Methinks
Desk
you
one.
does protest too much.
Coolest guy in the podcast.
Actually, you know what? Yeah, I take that back. I think there was somebody who was cooler than me. It's our host, Tony.
I don't think anyone agrees with that either. Check me out
I
on
do.
Twitter at Quad
It's
Team
Owen.
Tony.
Come on,
it's,
guys.
It's Owen, yeah.
Yeah.
Come on.
That's probably
stop.
fair.
No, don't stop. No.
Check me out on Twitter at Quad T Tony or on other Geek Show podcasts. All right. Let's see. No emails today, correct?
Correct.
Another
Quit
yawning.
It's past 9. I'm starting to turn off.
Oh,
I had a
funny.
3 a.m. alert last night, so I'm pretty pooped too.
All right. Let's see. Big news. There's two big newses. One of them's doesn't take very long to cover. So we'll hit that one real quick. And then we'll go into the big news that we teased last week that we got more info on. The big news that is very quick to cover, but often misinterpreted, if you ask me. Sony, in their financials this year, said they have no first-party games coming out in the next fiscal year. No first-party exclusive games.
Really?
Now, at first, you think, "Oh my gosh, that's terrible." But then you got to remember that Sony, like Microsoft, also invests in exclusive third-party games. So there's going to be some exclusive third-party
Oh, I
games.
see.
Like Final
Of course.
Fantasy
Like
7
Final
Rebirth.
Fantasy. Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
So it's really more of a, and you know what? That's the theme of the next topic as well. Nothing burgers.
In the same disclosure, though, Sony announced that PS5 sales have peaked, and they're entering the latter stage
Which
of
is
the
weird.
sales cycle.
I don't think they meant to say that, but whatever, because
It's 3.5 years in. If it lasts 7 years, then technically it makes sense.
If all they talk about by ladder means
The second half.
downhill for the second
Yeah.
half or whatever, then sure, that applies. But I think people are also making a bigger deal out about that than what it is.
Yeah, I wonder how that compares to Switch, though, or PS4, the previous generation.
That's a good question. PS4 sold really, really well. Switch is one of the best-selling consoles of all time. It's like topped 125 million units or something like that. Absurd. Deservingly so, though. It's a really neat little system. And so
It
that
was a neat little system.
It still is. It still is. You just have to have the magic fingers of Nintendo's first-party developers to make it sing.
Yep.
They need something new already,
I agree. Well, there was
and
also,
it's been delayed to next year too.
that's the rumor. We don't know for sure, but it wouldn't surprise me. I mean, Nintendo's still selling a lot of regular Switches, so wouldn't surprise me too much. But we'll see. We'll see. Now, on to the other nothing burger. Phil Spencer and the other C level Xbox guys had their podcast last week. We teased
girl.
this. Oh yeah. Well, guys in the general neutral. Is that still a thing? Can we do that?
I don't know.
I do.
Humans?
I'm just trying to cover our
I do.
bases.
Yeah, I do. But anyway, they had their little. It was only like 20 minutes, 22 minutes for the whole podcast episode. Very short. And they basically just said a few things that made a lot of sense and dumped water all over the internet fires about Xbox going pure multi-platform
Yeah,
and not
no
making
consoles.
a new hardware thing.
They also
blah,
didn't
blah, blah.
deny that it could happen, though.
Phil Spencer was asked point blank, is Starfield and the new Indiana Jones game going multi-platform? And he said no. So for the foreseeable future, I think it's a pretty solid statement that the tentpole exclusive games will stay exclusive to
Right.
Xbox, and their smaller stuff will go multi-platform, because why not?
Which makes
First of
sense.
all?
It just expands their market.
And
Exactly.
Like they're
already-
leaving money on the table.
They already have
by
a history
not
of
doing
doing
it.
this anyway.
Like
Yeah.
the Ori games, those were
Yep.
exclusive to Xbox. Those are on Switch and have been. Hellblade, exclusive to Xbox. It's on Switch.
They
So this is no change from what they've already done.
no, and when they bought Mojang, they didn't make Minecraft an Xbox exclusive. Just like they're not going to do with Call of Duty from Activision.
I think
So-
they've realized they'd make more money selling it on more platforms to more people than they do trying to be exclusive on their own.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
for
yeah.
sure.
You look at
Like
Steam.
that just
and
maths.
They have hundreds of 140 million, I think, or whatever, active users of the platform, and that's bigger than both PS5 and Xbox.
Yeah.
Yep.
Combined.
Platform agnostic. It's great stuff. The games that are heavily rumored to come out on PS5 and Switch are Sea of Thieves, Grounded. I suddenly can't think of them.
Hi-Fi Rush.
Hi-Fi Rush. Oh yeah, and
And-
Pentiment.
Pentiment. Yep.
Yeah.
So, like I said, smaller games that aren't the tentpole releases. Still
Or
good
games that have been out for a while,
Or games
Right.
that have been out for a while. So,
especially Sea of Thieves.
Grounded's been out for years too. So,
Yeah.
And either
So,
way, even
early
if they
access.
don't allow them on other platforms, they keep them on Game Pass, right? So like that's Game
Yeah, well,
Pass
and
is
that-
almost its own console. At this
exactly.
point, you know?
That's the next thing that he kind of hit at, or hit on, was that they're not going out of the hardware business. They're already deep in development for the next Xbox, because what else are you going to buy Game Pass on? No other console is going to allow you to do Game Pass. That would be silly. So if they want to attract people to Game Pass, a recurring, membership fee every month, money coming in guaranteed, they're going to want you on Game Pass, and they're going to want you on their, or then that'll
Once
have to
you're-
be on their
But at the
hardware
same
or
time,
the
if
PC.
you could do Game Pass on all the other platforms too, like that would be more money for Microsoft.
Except Sony and
I'm saying
Nintendo
the other
aren't going to
platforms
allow
won't
that.
let them.
Yeah.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Not
probably
that they
true.
wouldn't want to; it's they can't.
The interesting part of this podcast was when they were talking about hardware, and I'm going to do a quote here, super interesting. We're also invested in the next generation roadmap. What we're really focused on there is delivering the largest technical leap you will have ever seen in a hardware generation, which makes it better for players and better for creators and the visions that they're building.
What
Now,
does that mean?
Do we believe that it will really be
I
the
hope
largest technical leap?
I hope it means
Time will
discrete
tell.
GPUs in their next gen consoles. You know?
Yeah.
That would
Like,
be awesome.
if you look at DLSS 3, 1/8 of the frame is actually used, is actually computed on the GPU.
Native computation.
Yes. The
yeah.
rest is AI generated. AI in quotes.
whether it's upscaled or
Right.
created,
So,
wholesale.
If they're going to utilize this in the next generation, and they most definitely will, right there alone, that's an 8 times increase over native rendering.
Right.
So multiply 8 times however much the increase in GPU will be in the next gen. I can see how they could come up with that.
It's definitely
claim?
gonna. Yeah, I was gonna say it's definitely gonna have to be numbers that have been spun somewhat.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
because
like,
the days of massive jumps are really over, unfortunately.
we're never going to see PlayStation to PlayStation 2 ever
Yeah,
again.
or N64 to GameCube,
Do you
or
remember that
Super
N64
NES
to game
N64.
N64 to GameCube blew my mind.
Oh,
That was
man.
a big one.
I remember just being
Absolutely.
like,
Yeah, when I watched the reveal videos of the E3 where they showed off the GameCube, and they were showing like the 128 Mario's
yeah,
video and the Zelda video that used kind of the style from Ocarina of Time, but the modern rendering that had available at the time. Oh man, I was salivating.
Now, Sarah Bond, she's the one who said that. She didn't say the largest graphical leap. She said the largest technical leap.
Wow, that's true.
This
So
one
that's
is
a good-
going to be made of silk or something like like carbon fiber silk. Oh, that'd be sad if it wasn't performance related.
It has to be. I mean,
Yeah, but like the thing is, diminishing returns in graphics. That's just how it has to be. The closer we get to reality, the harder it is to get to reality.
right.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
And beyond that, another interesting thing they said about hardware, Phil Spencer said, "I'm very proud of the work that the hardware team is doing, not only for this year but also in the future. We're really thinking about creating hardware that sells to gamers because of the unique aspects of the hardware."
Yeah.
It's kind of
I mean,
an
we're going to make
unleashing
it.
of
They're
the
going to
creative
make it.
capability of our hardware team. I'm really
Means they're
excited
gonna
about.
means we're looking for a handheld from Microsoft soon.
It
Yeah.
might be.
Right.
It might be.
That would be very compelling, and
I'd
be very
Sony
interested.
Sony seems out of the game, so
I have a story about that. Maybe
huge
not.
market opportunity right there.
So
handhelds, huh?
the
Interesting.
other, yeah, I think it's a big market opportunity. Steam Deck blew it open. Blew the
It
market
did.
open on
Like
that,
it proved
you know?
it proved the concept
Exactly.
that people want a handheld
I have
to.
friggin' two now, and
Yeah.
you know, it's like, I don't spend my money wisely, but the point stands.
Yeah.
Neither do I.
Yeah. So, what was the other thing I was gonna say? I just really hope that it would be fantastic if the baseline for the next generation of consoles was 4K 120 hertz.
Yeah.
4K 120 FPS. That would be fantastic. I would love to see that.
With frame gen, I could see
it's
that being
doable for
standard.
sure.
Yeah.
But also give us the option to turn it off, because FrameGen can also introduce latency in your games, usually does to some degree, and you're not going to want that on something like Call of Duty. You know, you don't want any added latency in there.
Well, I would imagine they would just shoot for 120 without frame gen.
Native, yeah, that
Yeah.
would make sense. And then he was quoted. This is aside from the articles that we have posted here, but today I read several articles where he was quoted in saying that they have no intention of abandoning physical media anytime in the near future. So, remember, I think 3 or 4 months ago we talked about the documents that came out of the court case that they were in, where it had the roadmap for Xbox hardware and stuff for the next couple of years, and they had the like revised Xbox Series X.
Adorably all digital.
Yes, adorably all digital was the phrase that it had on there. So I think if that was in the works, I think the massive internet outcry about that has probably hit home. And that isn't to say they won't have digital only options like the Series S, but I think for at least the next generation and probably the one after, we'll have an option of some sort of optical media.
I hope
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, I think it needs to be that way. So yeah, that's kind of all the Xbox news in a nutshell that we teased last week. And let's talk a little bit further, though, about... I could have sworn there was another... Oh, I guess we already hit on it. Next Gen Switch delayed to next year, possibly. How accurate is this report, though?
There's lots of rumors about the Switch right now.
That's the thing.
There was multiple sources. All the tech outlets did it.
Well, did they all quote the same source? And was that source Moore's Law is Dead on YouTube, who was just a
Yeah,
joke?
possibly.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you said, it's just a rumor at this point.
Yeah.
I have
A believable
it has-
rumor.
It has taken all of my heart, mind, and soul to not bring rumors about the Switch 2 to the show. I want you guys to know that.
Proud
That's
of
important.
you. Proud of you. Great job. That's what it was. They also announced that Diablo 4 is coming to Game Pass, the first of the big games from the Activision Blizzard acquisition, March 28th.
I'm
Diablo
excited
4.
for that.
Starting to see the fruits of the acquisition.
I'm
Yep.
excited
Sorry,
for that.
people who got laid off.
Yeah, that was pretty lame. Not gonna lie. Not gonna sugarcoat it. Pretty lame that happened. It's gotten bad the last year and this year with not only gaming layoffs, but just like the tech industry in general. I mean, we talk about that on Help Desk, and man, it is wild.
It's rough out there.
It is rough out there.
It is really rough out there.
So, okay, this is also Xbox related. We can hit on. Has anyone started the Halo Season 2 stuff yet? Paramount Plus, streaming on Paramount Plus.
Have they?
I want
did Are they doing week to week?
Yeah,
Can't do it. Waiting. Can't do it.
gotta wait.
Gotta wait.
So I watched the first episode. I meant to watch the second episode before we recorded, but I did not get around to it. But I would venture to say that I'm in the position of the first episode of season 2. I think was better than almost anything they put out in season 1.
I've heard the same out there. I haven't seen it, but I've gotten the same sentiment out there that the second season is just the first episode is blowing away the first season.
Yeah, it was very cool. The first 15 minutes, I told my friends that don't like the first season of Halo, I said, give the first 15 minutes a chance of season 2, episode 1, and you'll enjoy it just for the wildness of the first 15 minutes.
I do take a little bit of issue with my neckbeard showing that they are messing with the timeline here.
Yeah, they are for sure.
Because if you know the premise of season 2, it's about Reach. So Master Chief never went there.
At least not in the not in the fight of Reach during the fall of Reach.
Not during the fall. He was not there. The whole premise of the first one.
So I have a question, Tony.
He's the last Spartan.
So I have no idea about the Halo stories. I've never played Halo for the stories.
You're the perfect candidate to
you're
watch
the perfect
show.
audience for this. Yeah.
100%.
That's my question.
I enjoyed the first season. I don't know anything about Halo.
I've played them all, and I still enjoyed the first season for what it is.
Yep.
You know, and they were clear when before the first season came out. They said this is not a retelling of the Halo story. This is the equivalent of a multiverse, a parallel universe Halo story. So
it's the characters, right? This is Master Chief, but he's doing different stuff.
Yeah,
You
he's
know?
taking his helmet off.
Yep.
You're seeing his butt at some point
You're
in
gonna
the first
see
season.
You're gonna
I
see
don't
his
remember
butt.
that.
Yeah.
And
What
what's
episode?
that?
Asking for a friend.
So, and that's the other thing. I think Pablo Schreiber. I think
He's huge.
He's maybe a little bit smaller in the second season, but cut out of his mind, like just crazy ripped. And
Did they do any references to Johnson being immortal in the first season? Do you remember that?
I don't think so.
In all the Halo games, like you shoot him with a rocket, like he can't die.
because he's your buddy.
Yeah, like
He's a character that has to be in the next cutscene.
yeah, exactly. So
he has what is referred to as plot armor.
yeah, it's plot armor. That's the strongest kind.
Yep.
Strongest
kind of armor.
I just remember that back in the day, there were the internet when memes were being born in the primordial soup of the internet. Johnson being immortal was one of them.
Yeah, that
I wonder if
I
they're
think
gonna
that
throw back
tracks
that.
for sure. So I really enjoyed the first season. The second season, episode 1. They didn't. So there's a whole part of the first season that I just didn't really care for, and that was all
Is that girl gone?
stuff with that girl.
Yeah.
And she does show up right at the end of the first season. But I think
Hey guys, how are you?
I think that's what it felt like. I think they're finally going to start to tie that all together, because that was the biggest problem with the first season with her character and her side story was it just felt completely, unattached to what else was going on in the show.
I get that they were somehow supposed to be linked, like something about them, but they didn't do a strong enough strong enough showing of that.
Hopefully they're going to link it up closely now so that the two stories can, be connected and follow in parallel with one another. But I mean, I'll be honest, I just wouldn't care if they dropped that storyline completely.
Yeah,
It would not bother me.
There was
at all.
there was no human slave in the original game that was like helping the Covenant.
Oh no, not that girl.
I thought you were talking.
The girl that goes with the Spartan that ran away. And
okay.
we meet her in the first episode of the first season, and she's
right,
the only survivor
one that,
of
like,
her
of that little nation. She's the rebellion's maybe leader. Oh yeah, okay.
They kept showing stuff with her all throughout the first season, and it was like, what does this have to do with anything?
Yeah.
Who cares?
The Outer Reaches rising up, I think, or whatever.
Yeah, which is hinted at in Halo Reach, how they were supposed to Halo Reach. They got there to kind of put down the rebellion a little bit at first.
The Spartan. That's the big
genesis of the Spartan program.
Yeah, that's the big secret, right? Like,
Yeah,
Spartans were never designed to fight the Covenant.
Jeez.
but it's in the games.
Yeah, it's in the games.
I don't care. It's a huge spoiler.
The games are like 15 years old, dude.
So, do you spoil books that have been out for decades?
Yeah.
You're gonna, yeah.
No, you don't.
We talk about movies eventually that have come out. There is a timeline on movies that have come out that we eventually.
You gave
Yeah,
up on the
us
Halo.
personally, but
No,
don't
no,
spoil
hang
it
on.
on a podcast.
Let me just
Garen,
say
you
the
don't-
Sixth
you don't
Sense.
have-
The Sixth Sense. Does anybody?
Like, for me, I don't care, but there might be listeners who
You
care.
sound like you
That's
care.
what I'm saying.
You sound like you care for
I
sure.
care
I
a little
also
bit.
care,
I
but
care a
at the
little
same
bit.
time, I understand the game's been out for 15 years.
Yeah, thank you, Lando.
All right, so let me just spoil Dune for you.
You
Okay.
can't
I don't give
spoil
two crats if you
Dune. That's
spoil
been
it. Go
out
ahead.
for too long.
Yeah.
There's nothing to spoil.
You know, I do concur though.
Because
So,
Dune
like,
2 is the second
if
half
he-
of the first book, which I can spoil.
If
The
Jared
book's been out
spoiled-
for decades.
If
Here's
Jared
Dune.
spoiled the end of the Wheel of Time for you, you'd be pretty upset though.
Well, that's because
Right.
I'm actually invested in listening to it now, whereas Jaren gave up on the Halo
My
stuff years
point
ago.
is,
gave up
our
on- you gave
listeners,
up.
they don't have that choice because they're not
Oh,
in this
yeah.
conversation. That's what
gave
I'm
up.
trying to say here.
Turn it down
enough
or
for the
turn
dear
it off,
listener.
Let me spoil Dune for you real quick. Blah blah blah.
Sandworms.
Intergalactic politics. Lots of religion. Blah blah blah. There
Blah
you
blah
go.
blah.
Lots
Sandworms,
of religion.
thumpers, sandworms, politics.
I had
Nailed
no love for that story until the last movie came out. And then I was like,
Oh.
okay, wait a minute.
Yeah, I could be in on
This
this.
is
like,
telling it in a compelling way now. So I'm very excited for Dune 2. I think it looks awesome. Anyway, back to Halo. There you go. I'm going to keep watching it. If you fell away from the first season, I would say you might have a chance of liking this one, at least from the first episode so far. So yeah, give it a shot there. All right, let's see. Wait a minute. Jaren, you have a review update for Avatar Frontiers of Pandora? What
Yeah,
else did you
it'll-
learn in your extra 20 minutes of playing for the last week?
It'll take 20 seconds. On Saturday, I finally got rid of the kids for a little bit and had time to play a video game. And I thought, should I play Avatar? I'm like, no. I never had fun with that game. So what I said last week about not caring about the universe when you're not playing it, oh boy, it hit me hard. I don't think I'll ever go back to it. So I'm going to lower the score to maybe a 7 out of 10.
Wow. All right.
Because narratively, it's dull. It's just a boring narrative.
It's no Alan Wake 2.
No, it's not.
sad.
Few things are.
But if you like Avatar, it's a great game. I remember having good memories of it. Maybe some version of Jaren
Maybe.
seemed to like it, right?
You're like mechanically, technically, graphically, gameplay wise, it's great.
Yeah,
But
on paper,
anything compelling you to keep playing? Meh.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's funny.
All right, Lando, do you want to save your thing for last, or should we?
Sure, let's just do it last.
Okay.
Right now?
No, not yet. We got a couple more things. Let's talk about Helldivers 2 because I think I'm going to pick this up for
Me
various
too.
reasons.
Oh, I've just been locked in on the videos of gameplay,
It
just
looks
like
so
I did
fun.
with that other game that was out there with the ladder. What was that?
With the ladder?
Yeah, where the lad would fall over on people. What was that game?
Oh,
The monsters.
Yeah.
Something. Anyway.
That one was like a flash in the pan. It was
Yeah.
popular for like 2 weeks, and
Yeah,
now
yeah,
you don't
yeah.
hear about it anymore.
But oh man, the Helldivers and watching people play and like
It has blown up.
it has
Huge.
gone crazy.
It's a PS5 game that released simultaneously on PC, the first one ever.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of feels like it.
Do you think that's why it did so
It got,
well?
yeah, I think so. Yeah, totally. Like it has
PlayStation?
blown up on
Think about
Steam.
it. Think about it.
But they have reached server capacity, 450,000 concurrent players, and
So they had to cap.
they have to cap it.
Yeah.
And so people have resorted to unsavory means to keep their place in line, like keeping the PlayStation on all night, stuff like that.
Jeez.
Yeah, but it has gone crazy.
Wow.
It's a cheaper game. It's only $40, and
$40
it's
new.
very well done.
Yep.
So it makes sense why he's doing so well.
Yeah, graphically it looks great. Like I was expecting kind of they just threw it together with whatever, but
Well, and
it's been really fun to watch.
what's extra interesting too is the first Helldivers was like a top-down, twin stick style shooter kind of. I don't know if it was twin stick, but it was top down, and you didn't, it wasn't first person, it wasn't third person behind the shoulder. It was a very simple looking game compared to what was out at the time. And this one, it's the same team. They went full on third person and kind of nailed it. So
Yeah.
And then only charging $40 brand new, and you can find it coupons and stuff for it too if you look around. Like Green Man Gaming, I think, has it for 17% off right now. So it's like $32 or whatever. I can't say that I'd recommend buying it right now since there is a server cap or a player cap on the servers, so you could end up playing it or buying it and not get to play it. But I'm definitely going to pick this one up at some point. I've especially heard as well that it is quite a funny game.
Yeah.
Very tongue-in-cheek, Starship Troopers vibe.
Yeah.
I'm doing my part. Support the colony and
Do your part.
stuff like that. So, yeah, looks pretty rad.
Helldivers came out on the Vita, as well
Yeah.
as PlayStation 3 and PlayStation 4.
So I mean, like, it was simple enough, technically and graphically, that they could release it on the handheld.
Wow.
So, speaking of other games that are technically and graphically simple, Invincible, my favorite comic book series of all time, Shadow dropped a new game on mobile, developed by Ubisoft.
Oh, okay.
Okay. It's called Invincible: Guarding the Globe, and I played it for a bit last night. I really
Free to
wanted-
download.
Yeah, free to download. I really wanted to like it more than I ended up liking it, but I think
Other than seeing some characters you love, animated,
I think it's mostly just the game style. I'm not super into it. It is. I might still keep playing it anyway, just because it actually has a story that you can go through as you play it. But I don't know what the type of game this is called. It's like you basically, all your characters auto attack the bad guys, and you level them up, and you can have them do special attacks as you go. But the attacking is automatic for each round, and you can even have an automatic button that throws their special out just whenever it charges. So you don't even have to do anything besides level them up and place them. So it's very hands-off, very kind of mobile, casual kind of a thing. So if that's something you're into, then you might like it. Like I said, I might still just keep playing it because I want to see what kind of story they put together.
Have they
for
made
the-
a
for
TV
the
show or
characters.
cartoon, or animated series for this?
Yeah, man. Part 2 of season
Yeah.
2 comes out next month.
That's right. I was like,
And they did a fantastic job with
Yeah. with the first part.
Amazon Prime with the cartoon for it. Yeah, absolutely
I'm gonna have
great.
to watch that. It keeps coming up in my feed, and I'm like, what is this?
Oh yeah, dude, you gotta
Gotta
watch
check
that.
it out.
It's great. Oh, let's see, what do we got left here? What's Kingmakers, Jaren?
Have you seen this trailer?
No, I don't think I have.
Oh, it looks freaking awesome. The first 20 seconds or so look like a pretty
the heck?
standard medieval strategy game where you're battling other kingdoms and stuff.
I would have just turned the trailer off at that point.
Yeah, but you go into like second 25, and then suddenly this truck goes plowing through a
What?
giant battle, and you are this guy from the future
Army
with
of Darkness style.
Yeah.
Yes, it's my boom boom stick.
You're a guy from the future who has all modern technology available to you, like helicopters, machine guns, grenade launchers. You can control. It looks like you can control it third person as well as it being a strategy game. And you're supposed to go back in time and save humanity by destroying a bunch of knights.
Knights and peasants
And peasants and stuff. It looks
Awesome.
just so. It's reminiscent of Brandon Sanderson's medieval wizard handbook, whatever it's
Oh,
called.
it's awesome.
Yeah, looks super cool. Being able to take down huge armies just by using your machine gun and grenade launchers and stuff.
Jeez.
And also, very interesting at how it combines strategy with third-person shooting. Like there's like an RTS element to it a bit.
So there's a few games that have tried to do that in the past, and I think some of them have worked all right, but it never really took off. Like, do you remember Command and Conquer Renegade back in the day?
I don't.
Vaguely, I remember this.
So
yes.
that was a third person. It was third or first person shooter, but you could zoom out and control units on the map, and then dive back into the action. That sounds kind of like this.
Yeah, except with this, you're an overpowered god.
Yeah, super OP.
Dude, this is freaking fantastic. Like the first scene looks like Back to the Future. The truck is driving, and Back to the Future's right into that battle, that main massive battle.
It looks
That is so great.
It looks so cool. It's going to be on Steam Early Access later in the year.
Okay.
I'm definitely going to give this one a try. It looks awesome.
Fourth comment down on this IGN article is a GIF of Ash from Army
from
of
Evil-
Darkness saying groovy with his magic knight hand that they give him. Yep.
Awesome.
Oh, we'll keep an eye on that for sure.
Groovy.
Okay, let's see. It's game time. Oh wait, no. We got hackers have almost made the PS Portable useful.
This
and
is
then
a
a PS5 vertical horizontal discussion.
Yeah. So the PS Portal, you guys love it, or right? You either love it or hate it.
Owen and Jaren both own one.
You either hate it or hate it.
Yeah, hate it or hate it. Well, two engineers from Google have put a very popular emulator. They've got a very popular emulator to run natively on the device. Guess
For
what
what?
it is? PSP.
PPSSPP?
PPSSPP. They've got PPSSPP running natively on this on the Portal. So neat.
Glad to hear that this modern system can emulate 20-year-old mobile games.
Exactly. But it can do it standalone, Tony.
What a concept.
Yeah. And so also the two co-hackers have said there's no release date planned for this. They're not publicizing
planning
the
on
exploit.
putting it out there.
But that just means like once that's blood
Someone
in the
else will
water
get
though.
it. Yeah.
That's blood in the water. Like once people know it can be done, you know? And the great thing about this is it's only a software hack. There's there's none of the hardware stuff that you typically see in this kind of hack where you've got to solder these pins off or disconnect whatever to short it out and anyway, voltage drop to get in. Anyway, it's just a software one. So it's almost useful. If you really love the PSP though, right? This may be it's got better battery life than a PSP. Maybe. I don't know. I didn't really
Larger
fact check that.
screen.
Larger screen.
Fact check that.
You can still buy it.
Yeah.
So,
Well, there you go.
anyway, that story. Thanks, Landon.
And
came
then you have a discussion point here that you want to hit
So,
on.
I fell into a YouTube black hole of vertical versus horizontal. I got into
For your PlayStation 5.
For your PlayStation 5, vertical horizontal. And I did this because I watched a video of some guy that just does teardowns of PS5s to clean the fans, vacuum everything out. And I really get into those teardowns when they're like, oh, and they remove it. They do it in this time lapse. It's very, very satisfying. And he was doing all the things, and he showed the board of what happens when you have your PS5 vertical, how the liquid metal literally runs off the chip onto the board.
That's not great.
Yeah,
and,
that's bad.
And so he was like, I can't say this enough. I can't tell you how many of these are fixed. Lay your PS5 horizontal before the liquid metal goes off. He's like, you can literally see here where the chip got really hot because the liquid metal ran off. And
That's a big design flaw.
yeah,
Huge.
and especially because they promote it vertical.
Yeah,
Like
that's how the
box
preferred
shows it,
way
yeah.
the box shows it and the manual and everything.
and so
They
I
gave you a free stand to put
Yeah.
it vertical. Well,
But
free, but
right, but but it uses liquid metal on their main chip there,
Yeah.
and literally, it looked like dripping tin. It looked like somebody had melted tin or solder, and it had fallen off. I was just like, and he uses a heat gun, and he like basically lays it flat, uses the heat gun, and remelts it and pushes it back onto the chip.
Yep.
But he was like, PSA, anybody who doesn't know yet, stay horizontal. And so I hadn't really I went to look up to see how recent that was, and that hasn't really been in the news since 2023.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
Yeah,
Since that kind of got
yeah. So anyway, I think we kind of asked this question before the show, and I was like, "What between you and Jaron?" And Jaron's like, "Oh, I do mine horizontal because I have to." But you're a vertical guy.
Also because
gonna
I have
switch it?
to.
You have to. Oh,
I
because
don't
you're
have
gaming
the spot
to
that
lay it.
I could put it flat in my
Right.
entertainment center. So,
So
I don't know. Yeah.
I it looked real. It looked legit to me. And
Oh,
after
I'm
one
sure it
video,
is.
I just fell into like 5 or 6 more, and I'm like, yeah, it's pretty consistent. Lay your PS5 horizontal.
I would have to totally redo my setup to fit it horizontal, and I don't know. I
Or you
can't
could just
be
not
arsed.
play it like me.
Well, that's the thing. I hardly ever
Touche.
play it anyway.
Touche.
So
Yeah. And I wonder if that liquid metal falling off is from heavy usage, like
I'm sure.
like
Yeah.
long time, or like if the fans get clogged and it can't properly vent.
extra
So
heat
there,
and whatnot.
yeah, there could be some gotchas
air.
there, but yeah, because all of the videos I watched, it was pretty hideous inside.
Yeah,
Like the air, the heat distribution and the heat venting was just.
The last time I really played my PS5 for extended periods was God of War 2. And that's been, what,
Wasn't
a
there a
year?
new Spider-Man game? That
Oh,
came
that's
out on
right.
that?
No, Spider-Man 2. I played the crap
Yeah.
out of it for Spider-Man 2. So that was the last one. But
Hmm.
all right, Lando, it's game time.
It's game time. Bringing the big James energy to the show. This week, the panelists do not know. You can share my screen, Tony.
Would you like me to share your screen?
Yes, please. Just the window. We're doing the best SNES games of all time, according to IGN.
Oh. Okay.
Link
I
to
think
the
this
past.
is going to be a little tougher for you
It's
guys.
It's IGN. Number one's going to be Zelda Link to the Past.
You are incorrect, sir.
What?
What?
Really? They seem to have such a love for that game over there. They're always gushing about it.
I
All
love
right.
that game.
Number
though.
one,
That's-
Mario.
Super Mario World was what
Super
the
Mario
NES
World is
had.
number 5, guys.
Okay.
Donkey Kong Country.
Yeah,
Yep.
that Donkey Kong Country's got to be on there.
Got it.
Probably
Donkey Kong Country's at number
2.
4.
Donkey Kong Country 2 as well.
Yep.
What about Final Fantasy 3?
Hold on. 6 is for Donkey Kong Country 2. You guys are going too fast.
Mario Kart.
Super Mario Kart.
No, Super Mario Kart is at number 17.
Okay.
A little surprised on that one.
You said Final Fantasy. Which number?
3.
3 is not on the list.
Oh.
Guess another
4?
number.
Is it 5? Didn't it, the numbers got all messed up?
Oh,
between
that's
the
right,
US
between-
and the
That's
Japanese
right.
releases.
It would have been 5, I think, for the US
Final
version.
Fantasy 5 is not on the list. On the list at number 8 is Final
6?
Fantasy 6.
6. Okay.
That's
yeah.
that's the one. They didn't release that ever.
For the record,
let's
4 is at
see.
11.
Oh, okay. Number one, if it's not, okay, I'll bet number one then is probably Super Metroid.
Super Metroid is number 1. Tony,
There
good
we
job.
go.
Wow,
There
number
it
one.
is.
That was a great game.
Very beloved game.
Yep, everyone loves that game. No
Yoshi's-
surprises there.
Yoshi's Island.
Yoshi's Island at number 9.
Okay, I didn't have a Super Nintendo, so we're getting down to the dregs of my knowledge of Super Nintendo games at this point. Does Donkey Kong Country 3 make an appearance?
It does not. Not on the list.
Okay, the last Super Nintendo game that I know that was really popular was Star Fox.
Star Fox 2 is at number 20.
Can't be. 2
Can't
never
be 2.
came out.
Yeah.
Star Fox 2 is on the list.
So they
Pilot
must-
Wings.
No, that was N64.
No, that's Pilot Wings 64. There's a Pilot
Oh,
Wings.
okay. So they must
Pilot Wings is not on the list.
Okay.
be Star Fox 2. That doesn't make any sense. That did come out in the SNES Mini, but I can't believe they'd count that. That's weird.
What about that other Final Fantasy
Oh, you know what?
type game? Like
how about Chrono Trigger?
Chrono Trigger?
Chrono
That's
Trigger
the-
number
that's-
2. There it is.
okay.
Good job.
That's one. Like it was very much like
Oops, wrong fingers.
that was very much like. Isn't that from the same studio,
It's,
SquareSoft?
yeah, Squaresoft. So
Yeah.
it's the same folks.
Yep, Square. So you got 7 and 10 left. You should be able to get these, I would think.
Earthbound. What's it called?
Mother.
Nope. I'm trying to see if it's on the list. I did not see it.
I think that.
What
was
about the Secret of
NES.
Mana?
Earthbound,
Wasn't
number
that-
15.
Okay.
Was Secret of Mana on there? I know it's. I don't know. That one made the top 10, but
Negative, not on the list. Not in the top 30.
Let's see. We got Super Metroid, Chrono Trigger, Link to the Past, Donkey Kong Country, Super Mario World.
You're missing a big racing game.
Donkey Kong
F-Zero
Country.
X.
F-Zero.
F-Zero. Yeah.
Number
Or
10.
just F-Zero.
Yeah. X was the GameCube version, wasn't it?
Was it?
Did
So
they,
I would actually forgive you if you didn't get number 7.
Did they make an F-Zero game for the N64? I don't think they did.
I think they did.
No, they did.
Yeah, they did.
Did
Yeah.
they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
is it a
What
Street
was it?
Fighter?
Oh, that
Is
was
it a Street
F-Zero
Fighter
X.
game.
F-Zero X was the N64 one. Okay.
Street Fighter?
Street Fighter 2 Turbo.
Oh man, what a good game!
Negative. Street Fighter 2 Turbo is at number 12.
NBA Jam, Mortal
close.
Kombat.
Mortal Kombat 2, number 13.
Yeah. See, I'm all out of games.
Wait,
at this
you
point.
you said you're close after I said NBA Jam?
No, not on the
Oh,
list.
Okay. Kirby? Kirby.
Oh, Kirby! Nice.
Like
I
I said,
just picked-
I forgive you on that one.
I just got Kirby's one of the Kirby games for the Switch.
So
couple-
other
like a
notable
month
other
ago.
games on
It's
the
good
list:
stuff.
Castlevania
Oh,
4
yeah.
at number
Castlevania
18.
4. Yep.
Um,
I tried to play that on the SNES Mini, and
It's hard.
I got to the last map, and then I realized you have to go the last area on the map is to get to Dracula. You have to play a section and then play against the boss of each boss you beat, all
Yeah.
in a row, without dying. Basically, you have to fight all the bosses again to get to Dracula. And I'm like, nope. Even with rewind, I'm out.
Yeah,
other notable titles, I think: Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 4, Turtles in Time, number
Oh,
14.
That's a classic.
surprised on a Mega Man didn't make this top 10 list too.
Mega Man 10 or Mega Man X 19.
Oh, okay.
Donkey Kong Country at number 22. Super Punch Out at 24.
Okay.
NBA Jam was on the list. I missed it, Jaron, at 29. Bomberman at 27.
I love Bomberman.
Yeah, Bomberman was a great game. So those are some of the things about the SNES. There were some great games there.
Was Super Punch Out, was that the first appearance on a Super Nintendo or a Nintendo machine, or did they have that on the original Nintendo?
It was Punch Out was on the original
Oh, okay.
NES,
You had Punch Out and you had Mike Tyson's Punch Out.
Mike
and then
Tyson.
Super Punch Out on the SNES.
I
Yeah.
think those were two different games, if I remember correctly. Punch Out and Mike Tyson's
Man, when
Punch
you
Out.
remember when I learned how to do the bull, what's his name? Mad Bull or Bald Bull? Oh, Bald Bull. When you learn their secrets in the Punch Out games, it was good times.
So you're telling me that Hal's hole-in-one golf didn't make the list?
Negative. Sorry, Tony.
Oh, bummer. I just think that's a funny name for a game. Hal's hole-in-one golf. All right, well,
Anyway, that was fun. Good
yeah,
job,
fun
guys.
little list action there.
Everyone loves a good list.
Everyone loves a list. Yep, you learn that when you do radio stuff. Everyone loves a list. All right, that is the end of today's episode. But before we say goodbye, big shout out to our awesome Patreon backers, patreon.com/helpdeskarcade. And if you donate $6 a month or more, you get a shout out on the air, which Jaron has for us right now.
Thank you to David Broshinsky, Connor Keesaw, and Wiffle Ball Tony. Thanks to Charlie Holmes. Insert Kerry Jackson's soundbite here.
Wait. Okay.
Andy Bird, be the 8-year-old. Travis Johnson, buy Geekshow Arcade Help Desk stickers at Pieman Graphics on Etsy. All proceeds go to Lee George Cades, medical bills. Jeremy, No Name No Color, Keslow. Eric Steinman, Eric Cruz. Owen has Tech Cred +2. Matt Nelson, Harry Patch. Adam, Aaron Faulkner, Stuart Lloyd. History is there for you to learn from or repeat. Your choice. Ryan M. and Adam Hecht. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Patreon backers. You are awesome. Okay. That's it. Thanks for downloading us. Thanks for making it to the end. And we hope you download us again next week. Until then, Owen, take us out.
Hey, we hope you care.
Good job, Owen.